Whoopi and Alyssa found themselves in a heated debate reflecting the disconnect between baby boomers and millennials. The morning show moderator's argument ensued during a hot topics discussion about the U.S. economy and how it affected the younger generations. People can't even buy homes in this economy, Alyssa, 34, asserted, earning a rather blunt response from the 69-year-old EGOT title holder. "Listen, I'm sorry, but when I started out, I couldn't buy a home either," Whoopi exclaimed. Co-host Joy Behar, 81, chimed in that she couldn't buy a home when she was in her youth also. Whoopi added that homeownership wasn't the first thing to happen after someone enters the workforce. "You gotta go out and get a job," she continued. "I know you're young," Whoopi said as she pointed to Alyssa, "but here's what it is. You work and you can afford a house. And you can go and get one." Driving her point home, the original Color Purple actress reminded the former White House employee that the proud Republican lived in New York City, where no one could afford to live. Alyssa clarified that she wasn't speaking about herself since she works on The View, implying that she was speaking up for the many young Americans in that situation. Gone too far. The View fans clapped back on X, which used to be Twitter, at Whoopi for blaming the youth rather than the forces hindering them. "OMG, Whoopi is so out of touch. It's much harder than when she growing up," one critic tweeted. "All of them are millionaires at the table. They're out of touch with what's happening in the country. They are just paid Democrat operatives. #The View." The critic continued, "One thing about #Whoopi, she'll behave like she knows it all. I'm tired of her view. I think it's time for #The View to move on from her." Another slammed, "Young people can't buy homes. I couldn't buy one either. OMG, Whoopi, shut the F*** K up. Whoopi sounds stupid and ignorant AF. Alyssa, the only one with some sense. #The View." A third fan added, "Yeah, I literally yelled at the TV. Alyssa was the only one making sense." A fourth complained, "LOL. I don't think Whoopi has actually worked on a movie set in 2 decades or more. The View only takes 4 hours to shoot and she sits down for 90% of that. They pay her millions, I believe, to give the youth a tongue-lashing ABT, laziness. Mad world. Just sip it." Whoopi had fans furious with her out-of-touch opinions in November also. During the episode, Whoopi and her co-hosts discussed why millennials, people born between 1981 and 1996, hesitated to have children. The Sister Act actress said that soaring inflation, student debt, and limited room for advancement in the workplace has made people feel like they can't afford a home or start a family. Whoopi, who often gets called out for her controversial comments, said, "Every generation comes and wants to be better than their parents did. But I'm sorry, if you only want to work 4 hours, it's going to be harder for you to get a house." The comedian added angrily, "I feel for everybody that feels this, but I'm sorry, we busted our behinds. We had to bust our behinds because we didn't have the option of falling back." Alyssa tried to interrupt to explain the housing crisis, but Whoopi said over her, "We had all kinds of stuff." Alyssa replied, "It's true, but it says statistically millennials are the first generation likely to do worse off than their parents." Whoopi shot back, "You know what? That's what they said to us as well. Every generation is told, you're going to do worse than your parents. And you know what? People pick it up, and they do what they do, and they raise themselves. This is what you've got to do. It's called being a good citizen." Viewers flooded social media with their fury over Whoopi's comments, claiming she had got it totally wrong. One raged on X, formerly known as Twitter, "Whoopi, girl, hush." Not one millennial or Gen Z person said they only want to work 4 hours. Now what we do ask for is having a 4-day work week, work from home, which is coming anyway, and for you old people in power to pass the torch so we young people can actually afford life. Another added, "Sometimes Whoopi totally gets it wrong. This would be an instance." A third asked, "Where are they getting the notion that we aren't out here working hard?" Whoopi is at the age where she has become out of touch with reality. Saying we only want to work 4 hours is hyperbole at its worst, someone else commented.